Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, everyone. Hi, Becky.
We're so excited to have you back today. We're going to be starting our next book in our Are You Overbooked series, The Energy Bus. And so today we're just going to introduce this book to you actually by reading the children's book version. I have it all upside down. And what we're hoping to do is work through the adult version with you. Our book series will start here this week on December 1st, and this series will run until January 12th, and then we'll take a little bit of a break. So we are excited for you to tune in. Again, we'll be releasing discussions every Tuesday with Jim and I, and then we actually have a surprise, Jim, right? Because we're going to have some pit stops along the way, some ways to fuel your bus on our social media. So we're
Fuel
very
your
excited.
fuel your bus, just add a little more fuel to your tank, so you can kind of just, in case if you're feeling like one day or just today, if you feel like you're running on empty, if you feel like you're running on fumes, this is like the perfect book for you. Just from the book so far, from how much I read of it, it's definitely has been such a huge help for me, and it's helping to fill my tank. So
yes. And, last time with Find Your Why, we talked about, why we chose the books. And so it's always important to focus on that. And I'm glad you brought up that point, Jim, because this book, yes, I have read it. I've run other book studies on it. But for me, this was a game changer in my own career. When I was going through some rough times, I read this book and it helped me realize what kind of energy I want to give off and what kind of energy I want to entertain. And so that's sort of what it goes through. And it's a quick, easy read. And it's not as serious, as focused. So great read over the holidays to rejuvenate and find your energy. So Jim, you want to get into this book here?
absolutely. Can't wait.
So we got the Energy Bus here for kids, the kids version. Again, you can read it alongside your children, your students, whoever, by John Gordon and illustrated by Corey Scott. So go ahead, Jim. I'll let you take it away.
All right. So hopefully everyone can see here. So we will do our very best. But like I said, the book will be for purchase. I will begin reading. It was Monday, and Mondays were never good for George. He woke up tired and grumpy as usual. He had watched too much television last night. He got hooked on video games. He went to bed too late and had another fight with his sister, Georgette.
Oh, no.
Yeah. His mom was upset because he was late for the bus and he still hadn't eaten breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day, she says. George knew she was right, but he was too tired and he had to hurry to catch the bus.
As George ran to the bus stop with his heavy backpack, he could see bus 11 pulling away. Oh, no. George was so upset he wanted to cry, but he didn't. He just put his head down and wondered what else could go wrong today. Luckily, as the bus driver drove away, she saw George, stopped the bus, and yelled out the window, "I wouldn't leave without you. Come on, get on the bus." This bus driver wasn't his usual bus driver. George had never seen her before. She said her name was Joy, and she had the biggest smile he had ever seen. He told her his name was George and sat down in the first seat.
Right. Joy sounds great so far. Oh, what's got you down? And what's with the frown? Joy asked. Everything is going wrong, George said. That's okay, George. You're on my bus now. I call it the Energy Bus. Sit down and I'm going to teach you some rules that will take you on a positive ride through life. Are you ready to learn the first rule? Joy asked. If you say yes 3 times. George and all the kids on the bus then shouted, "Yes, Yes, yes.
I'm excited to learn these rules. Jim.
Oh my.
Joy told the kids on the bus the first rule. Rule number 1, create a positive vision. When you're on the bus going to school, think about having a great day. When you are on the bus going home, picture yourself having a great night. When you think about your future, imagine yourself accomplishing your goals and dreams, said Joy. If you can see it, you can create it. If you have a vision, then you also have the power to make it happen.
I'm really liking rule number 1 so far.
Me too, me too.
All right, so as George waited for class to begin, he thought about what Joy had said about creating a positive vision. He imagined himself getting an A+ on his spelling test and hitting a home run in his baseball game on Saturday. Then he remembered his teacher telling him the importance of writing down your goals and drawing pictures of them. So George took out a piece of paper and drew a picture of his spelling test with the big A+ at the top. He also drew a picture of himself hitting a home run. George knew the pictures would help him remember his positive visions, so he folded his drawings and put them in his pocket.
Very good idea there, Jim.
I agree,
Liking it so
Becky.
far. That afternoon, as George walked on the bus, Joy gave him a big smile and asked him to sit in the first seat again so they could talk. How was school? She asked. Did you have a better day? It was a little better, answered George. I felt happier, and I'm pretty sure I got at least an A on the spelling test. But after that, I had to deal with a bunch of challenges. I tripped in the hallway while walking to class. I couldn't find my math workbook. A few of the mean kids were doing their usual mean things. I got hit in the face with a soccer ball and had to go to the nurse. It just wasn't a good day, said George. Poor George.
Oh boy. A little bit of a challenge here. Let's see what happens next. Oh, I understand, said Joy. We all will face challenges in life. That's why it's so important to learn the next rule. If you want to know what it is, say yes 3 times with me. George and everyone on the bus shouted, yes, yes, yes.
Rule number 2, fuel your ride with positive energy. What's positive energy? Asked George. It's the positive thoughts and emotions you think and feel and share with others, said Joy. It is smiles, laughter, gratitude, trust, faith, joy, happy thoughts, and beliefs. If you fuel up with positive energy, you will have the power to overcome challenges and achieve your goals. But what if I feel negative? Asked George. Well, that's the thing, George. You possess the greatest power in the world, said Joy. It's the power to choose to be positive instead of negative. Jim, that is a very positive and powerful thing.
Yes, it is.
I would agree with Joy.
I agree with Joy as well. Let's see what comes next. So what do you say we fuel up with lots of positive energy on your way home today? Asked Joy. Yes, yes, yes. George and all the other students shouted. The children cheered so loud that the bus shook.
Yikes.
Then, as the energy bus approached George's bus stop, Joy told George to think of a success from his day and share it with his parents at dinner or bedtime. She said his success of the day could be one thing that made him smile and feel great. So just thinking about that, thinking about one part of your day, what makes you smile and feel great, and to share it when we go home this evening.
Great tip.
Yes, it is. Got me thinking already.
The next morning, George stepped onto the bus feeling more positive than ever. Someone is looking very happy today, Joy said, smiling at George. I feel I feel like my tank is full of positive energy, George said with a big smile on his face. I love it, George. Make sure you keep filling your tank with positive energy throughout the day at school. She gave him a few tips to remember. Smile big, be thankful, and fuel yourself with positive beliefs. Then she asked George to repeat after her. I am ready for a great day. I believe in myself. I trust that I will accomplish my goals and dreams.
Right. All right, here we go. The energy bus pulled up to the school and George stepped off, ready to take on the day. As he walked towards the building, he heard Joy cheer. Remember, George, if you fuel up with positive energy, you can go as far as you can dream. Dream big, George. Dream big, George.
Interesting. You would think that George stepped onto the bus that afternoon full of positive energy, but he didn't. Instead, he walked on looking very sad and upset. What's the matter? What happened to my positive energy guy? Joy asked. I did everything you said. I fueled up with positive energy, but that didn't stop the bullies at school from teasing me and embarrassing me, George said with tears in his eyes. I'm sorry you had to deal with bullies, said Joy. I was bullied when I was a kid, and it didn't feel good. Joy then raised her voice for the entire bus to hear and said, listen up, kids. Don't be a bully. Don't be mean. Don't say hurtful things to others. It will take you down the negative road of life. Instead, choose to be kind and travel down the positive road.
What a great message.
I'm liking it so far.
I'm loving this. All right, let's do the next page here. Joy then turned to George and said, bullies are just one of the many types of negative people you will face in life. Some may say negative things about you. Others feel so bad about themselves, they try to make you feel bad too. Rather than driving their own bus, they are trying to ruin everyone else's ride. That's why I always want you to remember the next rule, said Joy as she picked up a piece of paper from the dashboard and held it up for George and everyone to see. All right, rule number 3. No bullies allowed. This means you stay strong and positive and know that bullies can't drain your positive energy if you don't let their negativity into your mind. Negativity comes in many forms, but positivity is much more powerful than negativity. The key is to become more positive than the negative you face. I understand, George said as the energy bus approached his bus stop. He walked off the bus realizing that he needed to be more positive than the bullies were negative. He also knew he needed a plan to neutralize the bullies and hoped Joy would have some ideas for him tomorrow. Ooh, I wonder what kind of ideas that would be.
I'm very excited in our book series to talk about that role because it's one of my game changers. I loved it.
Yes.
The next morning, when George got on the bus, he took his seat near Joy. Joy smiled at him and told him that she had been thinking all night about how to deal with bullies at school. Good, because I need a plan, said George. Well, I have a plan for you, said Joy. First, you avoid them. Do your best to stay away from any bullies that try to zap your positive energy. Second, when they are mean to you, confront them and say, you are bullying me, stop bullying me, and walk away. Then picture yourself driving your bus and shutting the door on them so they can't get on and their words can't affect your ride. Third, tell your parents, teacher, and principal. No one should have to deal with bullying. It's wrong. Okay, I'll try my best, said George as he walked off the bus towards the building where the bullies waited for him in the hallway. I wonder what's going to happen.
I know, it got me on the edge of my seat right now.
I'm
All right,
sure.
all right, here we go. When the bullies saw George, they began teasing him, but George was ready. He stayed positive, told himself to be strong, and told them to stop bullying him. Then George pictured himself shutting the bus door on them and keeping them off his bus as he walked away. He could hear the teasing continue, but he didn't let it bother him. In the past, he had allowed them on his bus, but not today. Today, he kept them off his bus and felt more positive than ever. The minute the school bell rang, he ran to the bus to tell Joy. It worked, it worked, he cheered. I'm so happy for you, said Joy. Positive energy is a powerful thing. And do you know what the most powerful form of positive energy in the world is? Asked Joy. I don't know, said George. What? It's love. And it's powerful. That is part of the next rule I want to share with you.
Oh,
it got me so excited, this page. All right, ready
rule.
for rule number 4?
I am. Rule number 4, love your passengers. This means you become a powerful force of positive energy and share love with your passengers. Who are my passengers? Asked George. They are your fellow students, friends, teachers, siblings, family, and the people you interact with every day. Love everybody, George. Be kind, help others, make a difference. When you show kindness to others, you attract kindness like a magnet. You surround yourself with so much positive energy that negativity doesn't even affect you, Joy said. Most importantly, when you put love into action, you change the world one loving act at a time. The energy bus then pulled up to George's house, and as he walked away from the bus, he waved to Joy and decided he was going to start showing kindness and love to his passengers at home.
All right. That night, George spent extra time petting his dog. He was kinder to his sister and told his mom he loved the dinner she made. The next morning, he made sure to wake up on time and eat his breakfast, knowing that would make his mom happy. At school, George smiled more and encouraged those who were having a bad day. He shared his lunch with a girl who forgot her lunch at home. He was extra kind to a girl that everyone teased and made her smile. He helped a boy who dropped his books in the hallway. George was so kind and positive that the bullies stayed away from him, and he was surrounded by other positive kids.
It's amazing how that works there, Jim.
Absolutely.
When George walked on the bus that afternoon with a big smile on his face, he told Joy that he knew the next rule of the energy bus. What's that, George? She asked. It's to enjoy the ride, he said. He had learned that when you follow the energy bus rules, you will enjoy the ride a whole lot more. Rule number 5, enjoy the ride. George then pulled out a picture he had made in art class and gave it to Joy. She looked at the picture and smiled. It was a picture that listed the 5 rules of the energy bus. 1, create a positive vision. 2, fuel your ride with positive energy. 3, no bullies allowed. 4, love your passengers. And 5, enjoy the ride.
I made one picture for you and one for our school, said George. I shared the picture with our principal, and now she's going to share the rules with all the teachers and students. Well, George, I will display this picture proudly on my bus for all my future passengers to see, and I will tell them about you and how you choose to fuel your life with positive energy. Joy already knew what others would find out. George was no longer just a passenger on the bus. He had become a positive driver who would change the world. George would share the energy bus rules with others through his words and actions, and they would learn what joy taught him. The energy bus will surely take you on a ride of your life. Beep, beep. The end.
Well, that is
Ugh.
fantastic, Jim. There's a little bit more in the back. Again, we're going to link this in. So,
Yes.
you know, if you choose to do this bus, ride the energy bus with us, it goes a little bit more in depth, but it's all about, you know, enjoying the ride and finding the ride you want to take in your life. And so kick it off with your students or your kids. You can play this video for them with the children's book, or you can
Yes.
purchase it and run it on your own. But we're really excited for this opportunity.
Absolutely. And if it's all right, Becky, I just wanted to share just a couple other thoughts real quick.
Yes, go ahead.
Just from reading this book, I love this book. I feel like this book has a lot to do in my life as well. The outlook I try to take is try to remain kind to others, how can I help you kind of role. At the same time, I've learned that I'm learning more and more who I want in my life, the passengers in my life. It's those passengers who help fuel my tank and to keep me driving along on this journey. And there was a lot of great messages that's at the end of this book. Highly recommend this book. Like I said, if you're a teacher, to read for your students. If you're a teacher, I'd highly recommend that even just taking a piece every day. Just take a little portion of your day just to kind of do a little positive modeling, like just a little lesson with your students, like what is kindness? How can we show kindness? How can we be helpful to others? Just trying to outweigh the positive, more positive, and try to decrease that negative so much that that we just want to be that kind of influence to others. So I love this, and I cannot wait to share these next several weeks with all of you.
Yes. And so next Tuesday, you can tune in. We'll be back. We'll be discussing chapters 1 through 5, which might seem like a lot, but it's only 20 pages. The chapters are very quick. I also do want to add to you that John Gordon on the Energy Bus website has free resources for you for your classroom as well. So feel free. We'll link them in there, and follow us on Twitter. We'll be sending out some fuel station reminders, and we'll catch you next Tuesday.
All right.
Everyone have a great week.
All right. Take care, my friends. See ya.